Hi, this is Mary from Second Time Tech, and today I'm just going to do a upgrade to my old studio computer that I now use in my living room. I changed a few things around, but that's basically what was in there before. Different SSDs, no hard drives, and a okay video card, but I wanted something a little bit better. So that's basically what I'm doing today on that. And the other thing is to talk about the SSD that I got for the office computer build. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. But first, let's just do the upgrade to the computer over here. So what I have here is my AMD Vega 64 card. And what I found out was that when they made the new updates to the video cards on, or driver for the video cards on AMD, some people were saying that it fixed all of the little problems. So I thought, well, if it has, well, then that's good. Because every once in a while, this card would give a little tick, and then the screen would go blank for a second and then come back on. And when they were discussing that, and they were saying that on the new cards, I thought, oh, okay. And then somebody came up and said that it also fixes the ones on the older cards. And I thought, well, that doesn't make sense. But then I kind of thought about it and said, well, that does make sense because it still is Vega, and they're still making Vega for the APUs. So they're still going to be doing tweaks and stuff for Vega. So hopefully it's going to work on this card also. So basically what I'm doing is I'm putting it in here, and then I'm going to put a couple of games on this. I'm going to try it on the computer in the living room, on the TV, and see how it runs, and then I'll get back to you on it to see if it helped any. And it still has 16 gigs of memory, and it's the good BDI memory and from Samsung. And it's the R7 1700, so it's still pretty decently fast. So we're going to give that a go, and we're going to do it right now. So first, basically what I'm going to be doing is taking out the card that I have in here, which is the Radeon RX 5500 XT. And I bought that the day that it came out, or the day after that it came out, I can't remember. And I actually got it for the price that it was supposed to be. Now it's gone up like about almost $50. So, well, 50 Canadian, about 30 American. So I'm quite pleased that I bought it whenever it was new. Be making a little bit of noise here while I'm taking this apart. Sorry for the noise. If it's too loud, I'll fix it up a bit. So now all I'm doing is taking out the screws for the card. The case that I have here is the Roseville Cullinan case, and I still really like it. It works very well. It's glass on three sides. The back of it's glass. Back side, front side's glass, and the front is glass. And I think it works pretty decent. Wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, and I took out I took out the wrong screw because it's the second and third screw, not the first and second screw. Wonder what was going wrong here. Now, the 5500 XT that I got was the Sapphire Pulse, but it was only the 4 gig one. I didn't get the 8 gig because they didn't have any at the time. And this one was so inexpensive Canadian. It was only like, I think it was $209 or something like that, which is an awesome buy in Canada. In case you're wondering what I was doing with the screwdriver, I was just loosening the little latch that's on the bottom. And there we are. There's the 5500 XT Pulse. And of course it only has one of the 8-pin connectors on it for power, and of course this one has 2, and they're sitting right there, but we'll fix that up, and this card is like way heavier. So now we'll put this one in place. There we are. Held on the back there and made sure I heard the little click. Just holding it in place there because normally you do it when it's laying down, but it really doesn't matter too much. As long as you're conscious of what you're doing. And now this cable has 2 of the plugs on it, so we'll fix that up. Sometimes that little connector just doesn't want to go in. There we are. And then the next one. There. You want to make sure those little clips are kind of level there so you know that they got caught in the side there. And don't have to do much for the cable management because I had it done already. So basically, all I did in the back was this cable here is what the cable for the power for the graphics card, and it used to run up this way and in there, but it wouldn't work now because the cable would have been too short. So I had to bring it up here and just put a little tie point there. So I just put it on there, brought it in through here, and it was long enough and no problems. So that's basically done. I do not have a monitor set up so I can show you that it's working and all that, but I will let you know. But that's basically all that you have to do in order to replace a video card. So now for the second part, since we've got our video card replaced, the second part was the SSD that I got for my office computer build that I'm doing for the small business. I sent back the HP 600s or S600s. The reason why is because they had no cache. I put that up down at the bottom of the screen when I was talking about them. And they are TLC NAND, but the cache is what makes them faster. The longer you use them, the faster they'll stay with cache. Without cache, it's a short time for the amount of write speed on it. And with the cache, it can be 50% longer, 100% longer, depending on what you have. So what I did was I checked, and I was still looking for a deal. So what I got was the Adata. Now, it's the blue one, okay? And that's the SU800. There's ones that are green that say SU600 and something, 630, 600, 635, whatever it is. Those do not have cache in them. And as far as I think, now I'm not positive because I don't say, I'm pretty sure they have QLC in them, not TLC. This one has TLC. I have the data sheet right in front of me over here, and it says 3D NAND flash. It's got an SMI controller. It comes anywhere from 128 gigabytes to 2 terabyte drives. And then it's got a few other little things. But the important thing is it has intelligent SLC caching and DRAM caching buffer. So that means that it has two types of cache inside here, whereas the other one didn't have any. Now, it does support the smart trim, which is something that you would want to have so that you can look at like how the drive's doing later. And on there, it says that, excuse me, I just have to bring this up a bit. On here, it says that it has 3D TLC NAND in it, and that's what we wanted. There's 2 million hours mean time between faults. And so then they have a performance chart here. So this was on the better ones, you always get a lot of information. So if I look at the 256 gig one, it says that the read time, sequential read time, is up to 560 megabytes per second, and the sequential read time is up to 520 megabytes per second. And then it goes on to tell you the other things, but I'm not going to get into that because that's the one number that most people look at is that. And it's the same for each size of these. So the 128 gig, the 256 gig, the 512 gig, the 1 terabyte, and the 2 terabyte all have the same sequential read and sequential write time, which is very good. Most of the lower size ones, they're usually slower. So that means that they've got this up pretty good. Now, I talked about total terabytes written, and the one that I was looking at on the HP S600, I think it was 40 or 70 or something like that, total terabytes written for the SSD. On this one, it's 200 terabytes written. So it's warranted for 3 years, just like the other one was. But this was warranted for up to 200 terabytes written. So this one's better. Now, this one did cost more. So I wanted to get them something good. Like I said, that's a decent drive. And I did make a video on the Seagate. It was basically very much like this drive. So anyway, just like in Canada, Most of us are in our houses. So keep safe and keep well. That's all I have for today. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Bye.